Hey everyone, Curlychronicles here, and it has been a very long time. For those of you who haven't been keeping tabs on how long it's been about 9 years or so. It's a very long time. But I said, I think it's time that I come back, so I am back. I'm gonna try and make sure I look in the camera because it's so easy to look at yourself and make sure that you're not making some weird face. But I am back, and I will get into why I decided to take such a long break, why I decided to come back, and what I plan to make of this channel. What will I be talking about here? So first things first, I'm in a very interesting setting right now. You can see I am no longer in a very urban area. I have moved to the south. And I think that I'm going to change my channel name to Curlychronicles in the South. I think I'm going to keep it pretty simple. But yeah, I am now in the South. I have moved, and I'm in a much more serene and quiet and secluded place in the great state of Georgia. And it's absolutely lovely. So I love it here. But first things first, why did I decide to take such a long break? There were a few reasons why. The first one had to do with the fact that I just wasn't sure if I had a lot to talk about. I never meant for my channel to go on forever. It was going to just be a few videos here and there. And so I just wasn't sure if I had anything else to say. The other part of it was I wasn't sure if I really wanted to have more, I don't know, more notoriety. If I didn't know if I really wanted my channel to be like, what if it grew bigger? Was I okay with being recognized on a massive scale? I wasn't quite sure. I'm a pretty outgoing person, but I do like my privacy as well. And so while I thought it was really, really wonderful that certain folks would see me out and about in public and say hello, I just wasn't sure if I was going to be okay with that on a massive scale for myself. I wasn't sure if I was like, am I okay with, gaining a little bit of notoriety? Because we don't get to choose when our channel blows up. It just happens, and one morning you wake up and you're like, well, my phone's broken because what are all these messages and all these notifications, right? So I just wasn't sure if that was something that I really wanted. And before it just got to that point and I didn't have a choice, I was gonna make the choice, like maybe I step back and reassess whether this is what I actually wanna go for. The other part of it was, people are not always that kind on YouTube. We all know this. People are very rude sometimes, and you just don't know how you're going to deal with judgment from people on YouTube in the comment section. And I was in my mid to late 20s. This is 9 years ago. Gosh, I'm almost 40. I'm nearing 40. And so I just wasn't sure, do I really want to be judged by people? I was starting a new relationship at the time with my girlfriend, who is now my wife. We've been together for 13 years now, or close to 13. Yeah, close to 13. Next year, be 13. So I just wasn't sure. But now that I am closer to 40, there's just this huge amount of I don't care that I possess. And it's something that just happens as you get a little bit older. And so I said, yeah, I don't think I care so much about what I don't care what anyone thinks. I never did, but I just wasn't sure how I would deal with it. So I think there's a deer nearby. I hear crunching in the leaves. And there are deer here. There are lizards and frogs and squirrels and something that looks like maybe a muskrat. There's all sorts of stuff here. You will hear lots of things. But yeah, I just wasn't sure. In my 20s, you're still pretty self-conscious about yourself, I think. And now that I'm a bit older, I really don't care. And luckily now you can filter things out. You don't even have to see a lot of the negativity. Some of it still might slip through, but you can kind of play with that and kind of scoot those things to the side a bit more now. Back in the day, things were very different on YouTube. So yeah, those are some of the reasons for why I just wasn't sure if I wanted to continue. And if I have to ask myself, am I okay with keeping this channel? And if my answer is I don't know, then my answer might as well be no. It pretty much is no at that particular moment. And so I never want to do something just for the sake of doing it. I want to do it because it feels right. So why did I decide to come back? I actually feel like I have a lot to share. I've learned so much in the past 9 years being away from YouTube. And I actually think I got some wisdom now. As I said, I'm getting older. I am closing the gap on my 30s. I'm getting closer to 40. I'll be 39 in 7 months, something like that. So yeah, it's kind of cool to be a little bit older and to feel a bit wiser. And I really would love to share some of the knowledge that I have with all of you out there, if it's helpful. And I just think that there's a lot of crap on YouTube. There's a lot of bad, detrimental stuff on YouTube, and I would like to be one of the people who contribute to the positivity that is here. So what are the things that are important to me that I actually want to talk about on my channel? I thought long and hard about this, and for me, getting closer to that homesteading, like pseudo homesteading kind of life is very important to me. Gardening is important to me. I gardened a lot in Long Beach, which is where I live, Long Beach, California. And I didn't have any, there was none of this. There was no dirt. It was just concrete. So I did it in containers. And so I said, if I can do this in containers, I can absolutely do this in the earth, in the dirt. And so I am going to be gardening here, and I would love to subsistence farm so that I don't have to go to the grocery store for most of the vegetables and things that I need on a day-to-day basis. Aging gracefully is also really important to me. You know, I'm very happy with where I am, with how I look. I do not mind the fine lines, the wrinkles, the laugh lines, the smile lines. I think I earned them. And while I'm not anti-plastic surgery, I think you should do whatever feels right for you. I think that, you know, if I can help others feel good about aging gracefully, I would like to do that. I think there's so much online that just leads people towards doing the, what do they call them? Tweakments and whatnot. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that there should be a balancing of the playing field. I think that, you know, you have to be very careful about doing any work, because you don't just get to do the work once. You have to usually keep it up. And after a certain amount of time, you know, you may not feel normal unless, you know, you have that particular treatment done, or, you know, that little plastic surgery thing. It's maybe not even that big of a deal. Maybe it's very minor, but you still may not feel like yourself if you don't get it done, and you revert back to, you know, little wrinkles that you had there showing up again, and you're just like, oh no. And I just think if I can help folks be happy with aging gracefully, I would like to do that. You know, nothing wrong with a little collagen cream, a little wrinkle cream, but I would love to see people happy in their own skin. I think that's really important, and it helps your self-esteem overall. So that's really important to me. And also, emergency preparedness is really important to me. I've always been very big on emergency preparedness. Living in California before, it was earthquakes. And here, it's probably going to be, I don't know, a hurricane or some sort of like heavy tropical storm or something like that. I don't think we really get earthquakes here much at all. It's very rare. So that's important to me too. And I would like to just make sure that people are preparing themselves for any type of disaster that could happen in their region. We all saw what happened in Texas, and it was really sad. And I think that, you know, we could do more to ensure that we're prepared to be able to rely on ourselves, because sometimes the government, maybe they're going to try and help, but they didn't help the people of Texas that quickly. And I think that it's just, you should do this for yourself. You owe it to yourself to know what to do and to know how to improvise in different situations. So I want to bring something a little bit different. Will I still talk about my hair from time to time? Yeah, here and there I will. My hair is doing pretty well. I actually cut it all off some years ago, and it's grown back out, and I trimmed it the other day, or the other week, and yeah, there will still be some hair stuff every now and again, but it just won't be the highlight of the channel. But I don't want to keep this, I don't want this to be too long, so birds are chirping. So I will try to end it here, but this is going to be the introductory video on my channel. And so if you are someone who's been subscribed for the many years, then I thank you for staying with me and just kind of keeping me in your feed. And if you are someone who's new here, I hope you enjoy the channel and that I can help spread a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of wisdom, especially to my younger gals out there, because it's hard. This world is very harsh, and I think that there just needs to be a lot more positivity, and I plan to contribute to it. So I'm not going to have a lot of crazy professional quality equipment and all of that. It's going to be very simple, and I just hope to have a good time and continue to connect with folks here. So I hope that you join me and stay tuned for all the fun stuff that's to come. I plan on doing shorts too, just to kind of sprinkle a little bit of stuff in here and there. When I'm not doing a video, try to do a little bit of shorts. And this bird is telling me that it's probably time to go, so I'm gonna get going. But thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. So take care and see you soon.